Hello, David Morgan of MorganReport.com with you with another Metals Investor Forum specializing in silver. And I have the privilege, I'll say, Arturo Préstamo, which I always butcher his last name, forgive me, Arturo, but the president and CEO of Santacruz Silver. We've known each other for a very long time, certainly a class act, but a man that gets things done. So speaking of getting things done, off camera, we talked about how long in the due diligence process it required for this asset that you've acquired from Peñoles, probably the biggest, best knowing silver situation on the planet. So just dive right in and give us the soup to nuts on this latest acquisition, please.
Absolutely, David, and thanks so much for having me here. It's an honor for me to be with you and with your great audience. Yeah, I mean, it's as you point out, we've been doing a lot of homework here in this asset. Is the Zimapan mine. It's a mine that was one of the flagship properties of Peñoles in the 90s, early 90s. It's a mine that it has a lot of history. This mine built the Zimapan municipality. It's an amazing asset. We have around 5,000 hectares in the property with a lot of upside potential. We started discussions with Peñoles since 3 years ago to buy the asset. The metal prices back then were definitely, as you know, more depressed than nowadays, than recently. And I'm pleased to say that it has been a real pleasure to deal with Peñoles, because they have been true gentlemen, and they have respected the price that we fixed 3 years ago, even though today's metal prices are way higher than back then. So it's been a joy working with them and getting this deal done for our investors in Santacruz. This is a mine with a capacity to produce or to mill 75,000 tons a month. Nowadays, that we're milling around 65,000 tons, so we still have 10,000 tons more to still, milling capacity. And what we want to do, David, is we have done a lot of exploration, and we're going to start a drilling campaign in a new area called Lomo del Toro, or Horizontes is the zone, which is a very high-grade area. It was actually the mine that built the town of Zimapan and was discovered by the Spaniards. As you may recall, the Spaniards back then, they only mined the high-grade areas, right? We have been doing a systematic channel sampling and a lot of a lot of work there in the property, and we see head grades north of 300 grams of silver, even 600 at some areas. So this is going to be a great sweetener for the meal, and we're planning to feed or to met those 10,000 tons with ore of this quality. So you will see an upside in the milling and a ramp up, keep going until we reach those 75,000 tons.
Fantastic. And am I right to assume that they're still, as big as this project's been in work, ability to look at areas that haven't been explored that much?
Absolutely, David. I'm glad that you point that out, because in addition to these Horizontes or Lomo del Toro area, there's a property which it's under our claims called Santa Gorgonia. This is an area that we're treating as a different, it could be a mine on its own, a different property, a different mill, and it's a gold property. It has, Peñoles did a very thorough exploration studies there. They did some geochemistry, magnetometry, and further lots of channel sampling. And just to give you an idea, we have around 2.5 grams of gold and 180 grams of silver, what the report so far tell. So a drilling campaign will be starting by mid this year in that property. So we believe that that the upside potential in this area is definitely a blue sky so far.
Great. Where do you see the industry? I mean, there's been a lot of talk about peak gold, peak oil. Some have talked about peak silver. I mean, I know of a few projects that are high merit that are not mined yet, and it'll probably be 5 years till they are mines. Nonetheless, I see it kind of flat here. I think that there's enough in the ground that I'm well aware of that we probably could keep producing at about 800 million ounces a year. But you're an industry insider. I mean, you're a miner. I'm an analyst. How do you see it?
Well, I see. I mean, from I mean, you're talking from a supply point of view. From the demand point of view, David, I see the demand growing significantly in the next coming years, and more so because of this renewable energy trend, right?
Right.
It's a trend that it has no way back, and silver is needed for almost all the technologies out there that are taking place in these renewable energies. So I do believe that the demand for silver is going to be increasing over the next few years. And in the other hand, the supply, as you well point out, I mean, it takes time to build a mine and to put it out and get it into production. So I think that we're going to be having a higher demand from what the supply will be the 800 million, in my opinion, for the next coming years, at least for the next 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
The demand will be growing at a higher rate. So I believe that we're going to see higher prices on silver.
Great. I wish I could be with you again. I always enjoy being in your, with you and around the mine or in the mine, whatever. Anyway, let me get to the point. How do people get more information? Give us your website, your contact points. So Santacruz Silver is certainly on everybody's radar. We own it, full disclosure. We've had it in the Morgan Report for quite some time. I've known Arturo for a very long time, and can't say enough. And I like most of these miners, but you're a little bit special, I have to say. I really do enjoy you. So thank you so much. How do we get a hold of you?
My pleasure, David. Thanks so much. Well, we can, everyone can subscribe to our news releases at santacruzsilver.com. And my contact information is there as well. And I'm always very active and responsive to our investors. So I'll be keen to respond to any doubts and any of our interest or possible investors.
Very good. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. Arturo, thank you so much for taking your time out of the day to update us on Santacruz Silver. And congratulations on the effort it took to get this from Peñoles. And I think all of your shareholders are going to be very happy and rewarded in the future.
Thanks, David. We're very glad for this. And I'm sure our shareholders will enjoy having a great asset like Zimapan. Thanks so much, David.